Hi, welcome to the clickforblinds.co.uk instructions on how to trim your Sunwood Wooden Venetian blind. Here we have your Sunwood Wooden Venetian blind purchased from clickforblinds.co.uk, and we have all the different components of the blind, as you can see here. Additional components that you'll get in the box are a couple of brackets for your blind, your valance, which you connect to the headrail once the blind is fitted, and various cord cleats and screws and other brackets. Now to operate your blinds, you lower and raise it from the right hand side cords here, as you can see in the diagram, and you adjust the slats by the left hand cords here. Now when you need to cut the width, the first thing you want to do is cut the width of the headrail. So once you've measured how much you need to take off each side of the blind in equal amounts, use some masking tape to measure on the headrail where you need to cut. And using a nice and sharp hacksaw, cut through the headrail at the point where you've marked with the masking tape. Once the headrail is cut, then it's time to cut the slats. So using a piece of masking tape again, bunch all the slats together nice and tightly with the masking tape, and then cut using a fine tooth wood saw, one that's sharp as well, through all the slats at once, cutting the same amount of the blind at each side. Now you're ready to fit the blind to your window using the installation instructions provided in the box, or these can also be found on the website. If you need to adjust the drop of your blind, the first thing you want to do is extend the blind to its full drop. Then untie the lift cords from the bottom of the blind. Then once you've done that, you can then remove any excess slats that you don't need, remembering that at this point you have not fitted the bottom bar, which adds approximately the width of one slat to the drop of the blind. So take that into account. You're then able to slide the bottom bar under the ladder rungs below the bottom slat you now have, and then remove the little plastic bottom buttons from the bottom bar. And then inside those little plastic bottom buttons, there are little brass bars that you can remove as well. And you can do this with a pen or a pencil or a knife. They pop out quite easily. Then when you've got those all out, you want to thread the lift cords through the bottom bar, through the bottom button, and then almost tie a knot in the cord. But before you put it tight, put the brass bar inside the middle of the knot and then put it tight. Once you've pulled that tight, then pull the lift cords tight so that the brass bar fits snugly inside the bottom button, and then you'll have some excess ladder cord at this stage from the excess slats that you haven't used. So you want to cut that ladder cord at the rung below the rung where the bottom bar is sitting. You're just using a pair of scissors. Then you want to push any loose ladder cord into the buttonhole inside the bottom bar, and then push the bottom button inside the bottom bar. And then if you've got any ladder cords hanging outside the bottom button, just trim that off with a pair of scissors to make it nice and neat, as shown in the diagram. So that is pretty much it for adjusting the width and adjusting the drop of your Sunwood Wooden Venetian blind from clickforblinds.co.uk. But if you've got any questions or queries or issues, please don't hesitate to contact us on 0844 844 0130 or on email at info@clickforblinds.co.uk. Okay, thank you for listening.